Alright, welcome. So, this seemed like something I should make a video about. Haven't done any videos in a while, but since this is brand new in the shrink wrap, it felt like it would have been wrong to not do something for it. So, you might be wondering what you're looking at here if you're not familiar with it. So this is the Dragon Slayer Chronicle, which is a collection of basically all the games in the quote-unquote Dragon Slayer series. So that means the original Dragon Slayer. It means Xanadu, the sequel to Dragon Slayer, so Dragon Slayer 2, essentially, Xanadu. I believe that also includes, let's look on the back here because it'll tell me everything anyway. So that includes Xanadu Scenario 2, yep. And then you have Romancia, which is Dragon Slayer 3. And then you have Dragon Slayer 4, which is the Drasla family, or Dragon Slayer family. That was released in the West as Legacy of the Wizard. Then you have Sorcerian. That was also released in the West, but only for like IBM DOS compatible computers at the time, I believe. Through that was released through Sierra, if you're familiar with Sierra games. Then we had Dragon Slayer: The Legend of Heroes, which is the first of the Legend of Heroes series, so that becomes its own sub-series, and yes, I know it all gets really confusing, but if you've been around Falcom stuff for long enough, you know all that already. Then you have Dragon Slayer: The Legend of Heroes 2, which is the direct sequel to that, and the last of the Legend of Heroes games to carry the Dragon Slayer moniker. So that was 6. Those two games make up Dragon Slayer 6. And then you have Dragon Slayer 7, Lord Monarch, which almost bears no resemblance to any of these other games. And then Advanced Lord Monarch, which, yeah, I guess we'll count that too if we're counting Lord Monarch. And then you have the final game, Dragon Slayer 8, The Legend of Xanadu, and The Legend of Xanadu 2. So that is the entirety of the Dragon Slayer franchise. And basically, this was released in Japan only by a company called Project Egg, which you can see down here on the bottom. So Project Egg, they are a company that basically they do emulation. They do emulation of old classic games, and they run it like a subscription service. So I can pay a monthly fee to sign up for Project Egg and play a lot of old retro games for like the PC-88 and PC-98 and a number of other old systems and consoles. Typically, they mainly deal in old computer stuff. But anyway, they released this collection since they do a lot of partnering with Falcom. They have another collection that's similar to this, which is the Sorcerian collection. And the thing is, these things are usually really, really expensive now because they were only produced in limited quantities. This one in particular was the first one that they did, the first big set that they did. Now, I say that if you bought, for example, trying to think of a good example, like if you bought E6 way back in the day, Project Egg, or the people who were responsible for Project Egg, included a disc in the limited edition of E6 that contains emulated versions of E's 1 through 5 that you can play on your PC. So, and this is all, as far as I understand, it's their proprietary emulation software. Like, they built it themselves from the ground up. And so everything that's in here pretty much runs on the same stuff, or at least we can assume it runs on the same stuff. So, but the cool thing about this is really the packaging and all the extras and the stuff that's in it, and I'm really excited about it. I don't know if this number 9 means like this is literally the ninth copy, or if this is like the 9th collection that Project Egg put out like this. The latter seems more feasible to me, but, you know. Yeah, I'm going to assume that's what it is, since this tag down here says the same thing. But, yeah. So I'm going to assume this is the 9th collection they released, and they probably worked with other companies to release other collections and whatnot before this point. But anyway, it's a really neat thing. One of those things that I've been looking at for years and been like, oh, I really want to get that at some point, and the price just kept going up and up and up, and I kept saying, no, I can't afford it. And then finally the other day, with the combination of finding a copy still in the shrink wrap, 2, a reasonably priced copy, which meant that it was, and when I say reasonably priced, I mean in comparison to the current market value, it was not $300, is essentially what that means. Not being $300 was a big selling point in its favor. And then the combination of the exchange rate, where the yen is currently weak to the dollar, meant that I could spend comparatively less money in dollars to get something for a slightly cheaper price than I would otherwise in terms of yen. So I bit the bullet and I picked it up, and I'm really happy and really excited about it. But I mean, there's no way. I'm not the kind of person that just buys things to collect things and to have them sit on the shelf and not do anything with them. So a lot of people may go, no, you're going to kill the resale value. Well, you know what? We're going to open it. And I don't care if it hurts the resale value. That's not why I buy games. So sorry for whoever, if that's how you feel about it, then you buy your own sealed copy and you do what you want with it. But yeah. So I'm excited about this. Let me pause while I get the shrink wrap off, and then we'll come right back. Okay, the shrink wrap is off, and you'll notice there's some other little goodies that are included in here. This is going to be some of the stuff that I focus more on, because there's just lots of like cool reprintings of manuals and music CDs and stuff like that. Yeah, so this is, it looks like all this is designed to run under like Windows XP / Vista / Windows 7. Okay, works in Windows 7, so I'm betting I shouldn't have any problem with it on Windows 10, but we'll find out. My assumption is that it'll be fine, or if it's not, there's probably if I go to Project Egg's website, there's probably going to be like a download or something for compatibility issues that I can get there. But yeah, so it looks really good. You can see it's an official Falcom licensed product. So for the goodies, we've got, of course, there's a game disc, and it's just a single disc, but it has all these games on it. And boy, I'm really sorry if that's real fuzzy. Let me see if I can improve the whoa. There we go. Improve the clarity. There we go. I was way out of focus. Sorry about that. Sorry about being out of focus. There you go. Now you can see everything. My gross thumb, all of it in gorgeous detail. Yeah. So there's all the games, and then we have a music CD. They're all together. Looks like it's together in one pack. It's in the same, I guess it's in the same CD case as the games. Yeah. So, yep. Dragon Slayer 4 original soundtrack. Total of 19 tracks. That's pretty cool. MSX2 version soundtrack. It's kind of neat. Then we got reproductions of the manuals. One for the original Dragon Slayer and one for Xanadu. This looks like first edition printing of Xanadu's manual, so that'll be interesting. We've got some postcards, 11 of those that have artwork from the games. That's what's shown up here. And then we've got a series of scenario cards showing off the different scenarios for Sorcerian, which is Dragon Slayer 5. Of course, as I was saying earlier, Sorcerian has its own collection like this that contains all the scenario expansions for Sorcerian. uh, in one big box like this. But anyway, let's go ahead and open it up. Let's see if I can do this without like destroying the. I hate these things because you know how flaps are. You try to open it and you always end up like bending it in a funny way, and then it's got a crease in the middle of it. Tell you what, I'm gonna pause and see if I can do it without making that happen. Well, guess what? It did not work. It did get slightly creased from doing that, but it's pretty. This is actually uh pretty sturdy cardboard here, so held up pretty well. I really like this under the tab. Dragon, not dragon, dragon, dragon Slayer is unlike any other game you have played on your computer. Yep. I believe that's text that actually shows up when you boot the original Dragon Slayer. So yeah, so okay, so we got that. Flip these back here, and we've got 2 discs. I thought they were going to be in the same case, but I may have just misunderstood. All right, there's the Dragon Slayer 4 soundtrack. Ooh, pretty. So that's really cool. And then here we have all the games. All of them. The whole lot. Isn't that fun? Since 1984, I think they need to work on their usage of the word since. If you have an end date, it's not a since. So it's 1984 to 1995, but whatever. I dropped my phone for making fun of their English. See, that's what I get. That's why you don't make fun of people. Ah. All right. Xanadu Manual. Oh my gosh. So wait, is this a reprinting with like the original, with like the stuff that was ripped from Ultima? Like, does it still have that stuff in here? What? Because it did say it was like the first edition of the manual. So does that mean it's a reprinting with like artwork that it's not supposed to have in here? Hang on. Oh, this is like a hints section. It's cut off. You have to actually tear it open. Oh no, I'm not doing that. I don't want to tear that open. I want to see what's in there. Maybe we can sneak a peek. Can do this thing. It's not working. Oh no. Oh no. Phooey. That's really cool. I'm gonna have to poke through that at my leisure later. I love having all the monsters for Xanadu. If you've ever played Xanadu, you know that this has got to be pretty useful, considering like the game is so complex, and I can't actually imagine playing it without this. It's there's just too much. There's too much. And so the big thing, if I can kind of explain, is that there's a limited number of enemies in the game. Like when you kill a monster in Xanadu, it's gone forever. That means that your opportunity to level using that monster is now gone when that monster is gone. So whatever experience your weapon that you happen to be using at the time, whether it be a magic spell or a sword or an axe or whatever it might be, that XP is gone as soon as you're done with it. Like once you've used it, once you've killed that enemy, that XP is on that item forever, whether on that spell or on that sword or whatever it might be. So that means you have to really consider if you want to kill off enemies or not, because they're your only source of experience. So if you want to level up a really good sword late in the game and have it be powerful enough to actually beat some of the late game bosses, you have to make sure you save those enemies until you can get that late game sword or whatever it is, so that you can go back several floors and kill all those enemies. I'm not sure if I'm making that make good sense or not, but that's essentially the way Xanadu works. It's really crazy. So yeah, anyway, what is this? What's this on the back? Uh-huh. Oh, okay. I was wondering if that was like a new comment from Falcom or just the old one. I think it's just an old comment that was on there previously. This is the real exciting one. Original Dragon Slayer manual. Whoa, dude. I mean, I know it's a reprint, but still. Whoa, dude. It's so cool. Oh, it's got the load cassette and run business on there. That's cool. Yeah. Good old cassette tapes. Been watching my channel at all, you may have seen me talk a little bit about cassette tapes and on old PCs and stuff like that, and I just think it's really cool format of the time. It's not exactly the best format, but it's really interesting. I find it really interesting. Oh wow, look at that fold out. It's a little fold out poster. Ah, that's cool. That's cool. So looking at it through the lens of my camera is not going to be as cool as you know, actually messing with it later myself. But I'll poke through those at my leisure later. Let's see what else is in here, because we've still got this big envelope, which I'm going to assume has all the art cards and stuff, because I think that's everything. It appears to be everything in the box. So yeah, let's take those out and see what we can see here. Forgive my big gangly fingers. Alright, come on. I'm so bad at doing this because I got my phone in one hand and I got this in the other hand, and okay. Yeah, one of these days I'll invest in a decent camera with a tripod or whatever, but you know what? I'm not making money off this. I don't expect to ever make money off this. It's fine. Yeah. Legend of Xanadu. So this is just a duplication of the original PC Engine artwork. And actually, well, it's not over there, because that's my other PC Engine stuff. It'd be over there. I have my copy of my my PC Engine copies of these games. So you can see this is the front cover, this is the back cover, and they've just given you a nice print that's a recreation of that, which is really cool. It's really cool that they include these, like, so you know, if you're picking this up, you're getting a lot of recreations of classic artwork and stuff. Like, look at this. I mean, this is straight up just the original Dragon Slayer box artwork. And if you look on the back, it's the back of the box, which I've only ever seen online. I've never actually gotten to... I've not had my own copy of Dragon Slayer, which is something I'd like to remedy someday. I do, however, happen to have my own copy of Xanadu, although not that particular one, because these are all the original release versions of these covers. There's Xanadu Scenario 2, and then Romancia. So I'm assuming most of these are going to be PC-88. Pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are going to be PC-88 versions. For the most part, this is MSX2 because that's the one that Falcom themselves developed. They did not develop the NES port. That was done for them. But yep, there's Legacy of the Wizard. Then you've got Sorcerian. I'm gonna assume this is also probably, I see, yeah, 88V. It will not run on an 88VA, so I'm gonna assume this is also the PC-88 version of that cover. Oh, but then we get a PC-98 cover for the original Dragon Slayer. That's interesting. Oh, not original Dragon Slayer, excuse me. Dragon Slayer, The Legend of Heroes. It makes it all very confusing, so you'll forgive me. Is this... This is PC-88. PC-88 cover for Legend of Heroes 2. Oh, that's interesting. Wait, making sure the front and back cover... Yeah, okay. That's PC-88 as well. PC 98 cover for Lord Monarch. That's very interesting. Yeah. So at least they were consistent on the front and back covers of these. These are, I should also mention, like, these prints are very nice, high quality prints. Like, they're not flimsy. They're printed on very nice stock. And they have a very nice sheen to them. Look really good. So, okay, this is the Sorcerian, this is the Sorcerian, campaign cards, essentially. So, like, the way Sorcerian works is that you build a party and you go on all these little mini adventures. And you can take your party on all kinds of different adventures, and this is one of them. So this is basically the first campaign, like the easiest one that pretty much everybody starts out on, which is like the king's missing staff, or so you've got the lost talisman, and they have all these different pieces of artwork to go with them. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'm not familiar with all of these, and so I don't really want to comment on the names, because I'm like, this is like the Cursed Oasis, and because I don't know what the context of those are in the game, so it'd be very easy for me to mistranslate it. Because I have not played a bunch of these. Like, I've only played very little of Sorcerian, in fact. I like what I've played of it. It's interesting. It's just, I usually tend to like a big, overarching plot rather than many small individual stories like this. But that's just me. So, but I love this artwork. It's really great seeing all this artwork preserved like this. Oh, that's right. I forgot that there's a Romancia one. It's literally, I believe it's like a retelling of the story from Romancia, the third Dragon Slayer game. That's a really cool piece of art. Really cool piece of art. I like that one. And then this. Yeah, it's really cool. This one shows up a lot in a lot of places. Seen this ghastly looking face here many a time. That's a nice piece of art there. Yeah. Oh, this is a really cool package. I'm really glad I got this. It's way too expensive, I would say, for anybody who really just wants to play the games. If you're not really a collector or interested in the assets and the extra stuff that's in here included with this, I can't really say it's worth spending $200+ on. But I mean, maybe it is if you like to have a legally purchased versions, even if they are emulated, legally purchased versions of all these games. Well, here you go. In fact, some of these games you get multiple versions of them, like Romancia, for example. There has the PC 8801 version and the MSX2 version. So, yeah, you get a lot of options here for gaming, and if you love Falcom the way I love Falcom, then you're gonna. I think you will find value in this. But I think for the average person who really just wants to play these games or try them out, your best bet is maybe, if you can, make yourself a Project Egg account and just give them a try on there using their software emulation. And a few of these games you may be able to find in other places. Of course, I'm not going to tell you specifically where you can find them, but like if this kind of thing, if collecting older games is your bag, I really think this is a really cool addition to any Falcom fans library. At some point, I may do a video, showing what the emulation's like and how it runs on my PC, but I'm sure it's not all that interesting. It's just a bunch of games running on emulators. So We'll see. If there's enough demand for it, I might do it. But anyway, that's going to be it for me for right now. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.